So in Unit 5, we turn towards financial math, specifically investments and earning money on money that you already have. There's two types of interest that we'll look at. The first one today will be simple interest. This involves you making an investment and the money being paid out on just that. So the bank or whoever you invest the money with will give you a percentage rate for the amount of interest you'll get, and the amount of money will be deposited into a separate account whenever the bank decides. That could be monthly, that could be yearly, that could even be daily. The other type of interest, and we'll get into that a little bit later, is compound interest, in which the bank pays out the interest into the same account that you have, and then after it pays that interest out, you earn interest on that interest as well. But with simple interest, we just earn interest on the amount of money that's invested, no matter how long or how much interest we've made. There's two formulas that apply here. This first one, I equals PRT. I is the amount of interest, P is the principal, R is the interest rate, which will usually be expressed as a percentage, and yes, we will need to convert that to a decimal, and T is the amount of time the investment is held in years. That works out when we're talking about the amount of interest. The second formula deals when we're dealing with the final amount of money. This would be A, the final value, total of the principal that you have invested plus the interest you've made, and A equals P plus PRT. Now, another way of looking at this formula will be useful in some examples. We could take that formula, take the right side, and there is a common factor of P that we could take out. And another way of putting that formula is A equals P times 1 plus RT. That one will be useful for a little bit later on, so just make a note of that and have that. So, a typical example of simple interest: Sarah's 20 years old, needs money to pay for college. When she was born, her grandparents bought her a $500 Canada Savings Bond with a term of 10 years, meaning they paid $500 to the government in this case. They acted as the bank, and the government said, okay, we will hold this money. We need to hold on to it for 10 years, and then you get it back with the interest along with the 500. The interest was determined at 6% per year and was paid at the end of each year. So, question I'm asking is, how much interest was earned just by the end of the first year? So not over the total length of the investment, but just over 1 year. Key thing in this question, we need to know whether we're looking for the interest or the final value, and that is how much interest. So we will be using the formula I equals PRT. I is what we're looking for. P is the principal, the $500 that was invested. R is the interest rate of 6%, which must be converted to a decimal, so divide it by 100, 0.06. And T will be the 1 year that we're talking about in this case. We can take this one-stop shop in the calculator and determine that the amount of interest earned would have been $30.